Alright guys, I recorded this over a year ago. I haven't played the game in a very long time, so if I say some things wrong or name some things wrong, that's most likely why. But to start off, this is an infantry challenge with Marine on solo. For starters, I like to start on the left side of the maze. And basically, I'm just going to sit here and then fall back into like the little tunnel area for the first few rounds. And you're going to want to focus on upgrading attack speed as soon as possible. I do put one into vision range because I just like seeing stuff, but you do want to max out attack speed as fast as you can. Definitely keep an eye out for the bloaters. They will destroy your life, so just make sure when you see one, create some space, hit them with the slug round, and you'll be all good. After you max out attack speed, put some into damage, and then go ahead and max everything else out. By the time Roach spawns, you should have everything maxed out except for damage. Now for the first Marine spawn wave, I like to just run up here. It's a little bit safer, I found, this way. Now Roach has spawned, but I'm not going to move until I have 1,000 Vespian because we want to go buy damage, and then we want to buy vision right after that. Alright, now that we have both of the perks that we wanted, we're going to go ahead and round up all the zombies. I'd try not to kill them because I want to get that extra points and XP from them from the maze reward. So we're just going to circle them all up here until you find the Roach inside the mob. Once you find the Roach, just go ahead, easily take him out. Not much, just make sure you keep your range so he doesn't hit you with the spit attack, and that'll be easy boss down. Cool. As soon as you kill the Roach, just bring everybody back into the maze. Go ahead and get your XP, the extra points, extra gas, and just keep it moving until the next boss spawns. So we're going to go ahead and sit here in the maze, waiting for twins to come. Don't forget to get movement speed. Toward the end of round 19, I like to run up there real quick and buy it, and then go ahead and run right back to the maze, trying to kill any zombies. And then once you get inside the maze, go ahead and clear out the round. So now that twins spawn, you're going to go ahead and run outside the maze. I'm greedy, so I'm going to sit in here for a little while until I know that they're going to be closer before I run out into the main area. Now, I did record this almost a year ago, I believe, and I think there's been a patch since then, so you can no longer spam the stim pack like you used to be able to, but honestly, it's essentially going to be the same. So now that when you use stim, you take way more damage than you used to, but if you hit this stim, and you just wait right up until the point where it runs out, you'll still have full health. If not, you'll be down 1 HP. So instead of spamming stim like I do here, just be very cautious that you need to keep an eye on when your stim is right about to run out before you use it again. That way you don't drain your life completely. But essentially, this is another easy boss to take out. You're just going to run around the maze, hit them when you can, watching out for their jump attack, and it'll be another easy boss down. Now that you're done with the twins, make sure that you round some of the zombies up, make your way back into the maze, and go ahead and clear out the rounds inside the maze again. I like to finish off this round around the middle side of the maze, and then I'm going to work my way down to the bottom of the maze, and this is where I'm going to stay for a good while. After round 25, and when you have around 2,000 gas, you're going to go ahead and get the rest of your upgrades. So you're going to get bonus vitals, you're going to go ahead and convert the rest of your minerals into gas, then get your 2 hero buffs and the ability cooldowns, and make your way right back to the maze to continue farming XP. So we know Brutalisk is going to spawn next, and he's going to spawn pretty soon. So now that round 28 started, we're going to go ahead and round up some of the zombies down here. Get them all in a nice little circle, and then we're going to go ahead and head up to Brutalisk the moment that he spawns. So now that Brutalisk is here, honestly, nothing special going on. You're really just going to run up to him as fast as you can and just lay into him. And you should have no issue being able to take him out at this point. Try to kill him in the direction that I am, because we want to keep the zombies more or less on the right side of the maze. It's going to just help us out for the next part when Convoy spawns. Try not to kill the zombies if you can. We're not trying to push the wave at this point, because once you kill Brutalisk, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to circle up the zombies over here on the right side of the maze over by the gas area, and we're just going to wait for Convoy to spawn. For me, this is the easiest way to complete Convoy. I'm sure if you can probably defend it through the waves if you want, but I like just taking an easy approach. So we're going to round up all the zombies up here and wait for Convoy to spawn. So now that Convoy is coming in, we're going to take this little path here to try to make it so the zombies have the longest possible wait to make it all the way over there. Then you're going to go in and run over, try to get behind the tank. That way you don't get targeted by most of the stuff. You can take everything out, then run right back up to the zombies, and then go ahead and circle them up right underneath the bottom of the maze. You're just going to go ahead and kite them here the entire time until Convoy makes it all the way to its route. And then once it gets completed, you can go ahead and walk right back into the maze and finish the round. Alright, so I do sit in here until about wave 30. Just keep an eye out for the Hydralisks that are going to spawn. But we're going to stay here until Ravasaur spawns. Make sure you keep your distance from the Hydralisk. And what you're going to do is just go ahead and run up to the Ravasaur. And nothing special again. Just lay into him. You should have no problem taking him out as well. Okay, now that Ravasaur is dead, go ahead, make your way back to the maze. Then again, just going to be farming XP here. Once you get past round 30, it's a little bit harder sometimes to sit in the maze, so feel free to run out if you need be, and then, make your way back in. And honestly, if you don't even want to farm XP, you don't really need to. You can just keep circling around maze, whatever works for you. I'm not going to make it to level 8 in this run. I'm not really trying to, so it's really not that big of a deal. So round 35 is here. Just keep an eye out for the Hydralisks that are going to spawn. Just keep your distance and take them out from a range and you'll be all good. I almost make a mistake here and lose the run because I run into a bunch of Hydralisks and the Queen. Again, I was greedy and I wanted to go back inside the maze, but if you're trying to play it safe, just keep doing kiting circles around the maze and you should be fine when you're progressing through the rounds. Very important to note though, when you see a Queen, make sure you target it as much as you can, and if you're able to, take them out immediately. Just keeps less creep around the map and it's going to make your life a lot easier in the later rounds. Okay, so our last boss for this run is going to be Kingdralisk. Now I like to run up to the top right part of the maze, and this is where I like to start my kite around the maze. Once you see your first Queen, you can go ahead and just start doing circles around the maze. And literally, we're just going to kite circles around the maze until Kingdralisk is gone. You might be able to kill Kingdralisk if you want. I didn't want to risk it. I don't think there's a point unless you're really hurting for that XP. I don't think it's worth it. Now that the king is gone, you're going to go ahead and clear up all the Hydralisk and the Queens that we see. And then I'll make my way back into the maze later on to farm more XP once I know it's a little bit safer. So now we made it to round 45. We're going to get Speedlings again. We're going to get some more Queens, and we're going to get Ultralisk. So we're going to go ahead and take out the Speedlings first while we can, and just wait around until we get the Ultralisk to come pile up to us. There should be about 2 of them, I believe, for this round. Again, taking out the Queens when you see them makes your life a lot easier in the later rounds. Make sure you follow the same exact path I'm taking here because we're going to do this every single round that Ultralisk spawn. This is the easiest way I found to take them out without letting the Queens heal them. Also, I'm going to slow it down here just to let you know that you can take out creep with Marines. Just wait for any enemy to run over the middle. Hit it with your slug round. It will pop that creep tumor and it will get rid of the creep on the floor. This is very tedious. This is going to take you a very long time. So, just take your time. If you see creep on the floor, go ahead and take your time with the Ultralisk. Have them run over it. Hit it with a slug round just to get rid of it while you can. Just keeping less creep around the map will make your life a lot easier. Like I said, this is going to take a very long time. And this is arguably the worst part of the run. Anytime we hit an Ultralisk round, it's going to take a very long time. Alright, and like I said, I did show you the whole route, up by vision, down to health, over by the hero buffs, over to ability cooldowns, and then back up around the maze and just repeat. I'm not going to show it the next 2 to 3 Ultralisk rounds, but we are going to use this path every single time. Now that the last Ultralisk is dead, you can go ahead and clear off the wave, making sure to take out the queens before we make our way back into the maze, if you want, or just go ahead and run back into the maze. I like to kill the queens first, just to make sure it's pretty safe, and then I run right back into the maze. Again, you don't have to go back into the maze if you don't want to. I believe I was trying to see if it was possible to make it to round 8 if I spent as much time in here as possible. But I didn't. I only made it to level 6. So if you want to play the safe route, just keep doing small circles around the outside of the maze. It's a lot safer than just sitting where I am all the time. So now that wave 50 is here, we're going to get more Ultralisk. So we're going to do the same exact thing. And I did run out of the maze a little bit late. Kind of scary situation right there, but we're going to do the same exact path like I mentioned earlier. Just round up all the Ultralisk, take them on this path. It's going to take you a very long time to clear out all of these ones now, but follow the same path. The queens won't heal them, and eventually you'll be able to take them all out. As you can see by the in-game timer, it took me about 10 to 12-ish minutes of in-game time to be able to kite all those Ultralisks around and take them all out. After that, just go ahead and clear off the wave, and we'll be waiting until the next boss wave. So now we're waiting till wave 60, and as it's getting closer, I do kite on top of the maze in this little area up here for a round or two. I like to start wave 60 up here, but you necessarily don't have to if you don't want. But I found that I can get a few queens out of the way just starting up here. You get one that spawns right there, and then you can get 2 working your way down before you start the Ultralisk path here. So I'm going to go ahead and take out as many queens as I can as I make my way around the maze. And then once I get over to the left-hand side of the maze, I'm going to go ahead and begin the same old Ultralisk path like I've been showing you to take out the Ultralisk and progress until the next wave. Don't forget to try to take out creep when you can. Again, it just makes your life a lot easier, especially in the later rounds. As you can see here, as I'm coming around the maze, this queen is going to go ahead and heal this Ultralisk, and this is exactly why I don't do these short circles around the maze when it comes to these rounds. I take the standard path up and all the way around. I did skip ahead, and as you can probably tell by the in-game time, it took me, I think, almost 20 in-game minutes, I think, that time to finish all the Ultralisk. So, like I said, this is very tedious, and it's going to take a very long time. But now that they're dead, you can go ahead and clear off the round, taking out the queens when you see them, and taking out creep when you can. And at this point, you can go ahead and transition into just doing the regular small circles around the maze until we hit our next boss round, which is 65. Now that we've been kiting around the maze up until wave 65, we're going to start getting the creep walkers, more Ultralisks, and some queens. So just be careful when they spawn in. I almost die here. And because of that, I'm going to run a long path around just because I know it's going to be safe if I come in here, go all the way up along the edge because I know everything's already spawned in and moved past these parts, and then come up here and then wait for everything else to come to me. And then from this point on, if you see queen and you can take it out, go ahead. But we're going to do the same path once again with the Ultralisk first. Take those out, and then move our way to taking out the creep walkers, and then after that, everything else and the queens. So I skipped ahead because you already know it's going to take us forever to kill those big boys. So now that they're all dead, we're going to go ahead and work on the creep walkers. And for this, you can either try doing the short path around the maze. Just keep in mind, if you haven't taken out the queens, they might heal the creep walkers. Other than that, I would do the same path with the Ultralisk like we have been doing. Just take out all those creep walkers doing that path, and then go ahead and finish up everything else. Now our last one is wave 70, which you see here. And for some reason, Ravasaurs don't spawn on wave 70. I think they're called Ravasaurs, right? Whatever. They don't spawn. At least they didn't for me on wave 70. So it's easy peasy. All you really need to worry about is the queens, and they're really not that much of a threat. So take out the little Roachlings, take out the queens, and honestly, you just push waves from this point on, just doing circles around the maze or any long path you want to take until you reach endgame. And that's basically it for this challenge. Like I said, if you're doing this solo, it is very tedious. It's going to take you a long time to take out those Ultralisks, like I said. And as you can tell, it's taken me a little over 2 hours of in-game time to complete this challenge. If you have any questions, leave it down below. I do have a solo video for every other challenge coming out very soon, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.